left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You unlock this door with the...
What up, YouTube? What up, comic fam? Welcome to episode 171 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. And tonight we're flying solo. It's just Jim tonight. Nate is busy moving into a new apartment, so Jim is flying solo tonight. And it will be a little bit of a shorter show. I mean, it'll be obviously be quicker because I don't have no one to banter with. But we're still going to review this week's books just to get you guys. Notice my independents did not come in time for me to review those, so it's strictly just Marvel and DC tonight. But it's still going to be a good time. Still going to be a great time to hang out and talk comics. So glad that everyone that is here is watching live, and anyone that is watching this as a past episode, thank you and welcome, and thank you for watching this lovely channel that we have here, Two Fat Guys Pull List. Before we kick off the show, we're going to go ahead and start talking about our show's sponsors, which is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. It is the LCS that me and Nate it's our home base, essentially. It's where we get our comics. It's where we get all of our other goods. You can get all kinds of cool stuff over there. You can get comics, trade editions, can't speak tonight, omnibuses, hardcovers, back issues, toys, trading cards, board games, models, statues, plushies, manga. They've got it. So go ahead, if you're in the DFW area, go ahead and check out Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. They have 3 locations, one in Hearst, one in Fort Worth, and one in Irving. No. Yeah, that's correct. So if you ever get a chance, go check them out. Also, you can go to their website if you're not in the area, where it's called staycollected.com. And over there, let me pull up the website here really quick. I'm usually a little bit quicker on it, but I'm a little flustered for some reason. If you go over to staycollected.com, then you can get all those things I just talked about on their website. So if you're not in the DFW area, but you'd like to support our sponsor, head on over to staycollected.com and go check out the website. They got some crazy cool stuff. Ron also has some exclusives, some trades, and all that cool stuff on there as well that are pretty neat. So head over there if you're looking to buy anything online. Also, we got to talk about our milestone giveaway. We're on the road to 1,250 subscribers. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, we're giving away this Jim Chung signed Uncanny X-Men #1 9.8 CGC grade. Great book that we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. So if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Please, please, please. It would much be appreciated. It helps us out and to grow the channel and to get our message out about just talking about some cool comics. It's great. Also, when we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving away this Thor #1 Nick Klein sketch variant signed by Donnie Cates. It's a 9.8 CGC grade. So when we hit 2,000 subs, giving this bad boy away. And we don't know, man. Donnie may not be doing cons anymore. He may not be signing any books. So this book might jump up exponentially before, when we hit 2,000. Probably already is. But, it wouldn't hurt you just to hit that sub button, ring the bells, and give us likes. All right. Let's get back to the business. Let's talk about this week's comics. For some reason, my chat on this side is disabled. And I don't know why. Let's see. Maybe a refresh chat, maybe? Maybe. Yes, no, maybe so. Streamlabs is kind of jacking up right now. I don't know why. I can't see chat over here. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at chat, not because I'm over here. Chat is disabled for the live stream. That doesn't make any sense. All right, well, we'll just look it over here. Anyway, what up, John? Says, hey guys. Hey guy. What's up, man? Howdy. Hope everyone had a wicked week. Gotta be passive listener again tonight. Been working on way too many vehicles. It's all good, Patty. I'm just glad you're here. Listen away. Joe, what up, fellas? A few weeks behind on books. I've been going through a lot. I can't find the joy to read right now, but I'm here for the show. It's all, oh man, Joe, it's all good. Thanks for being here, man. I hope everything's good. Sit back, relax, and just chill. I'll soothe you. I'll soothe you with my voice. Sorry, Nate's not here. He's currently moving. John, thank you for the super chat. Top 3 were Avengers Twilight, Ultimate Black Panther, and Cobra Commander. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to it. Like I said before at the beginning, yeah, Joe, just chill out and hang with us, man. It'd be great. I'm glad that you're here. As for this week, I didn't get my independence, so I wasn't able to read Cobra Commander or there was another one. I think it was Moon Man and something else, Skull Crusher or something. I can't remember. Skull Death Ball. I can't remember. So again, it's just gonna be Marvel and DC for me this week. We'll see if I get basically show notes are just kind of for the week. I'm not sure if Nate will be here for New Comic Book Day for Tuesday, but if he is, great. If not, it'll be me flying solo. No big deal. We've done it before. Super easy. But that's kind of the map for this week is I may be solo for New Comic Book Day and potentially next week's show because, well, I will be solo next week because next week Nate he's going to a concert. So, but it's all good. It's all good. What's up, Ortiz? How you doing? All right, let's get to it. First up, we have Avengers Twilight issue number 4, I believe. I don't like that they don't put the numbers on the covers, or at least not when I upload them onto my computer. This week I heard Skull Crusher was good as well. Got you, John. This week I was kind of, it wasn't a bad week, but I think for me, Avengers Twilight took the cake. It's the best book I read this week. In all facets of what we review here on this channel. So the artwork, the pacing, the writing, the whole thing, the whole package itself. Avengers Twilight to me was the most complete book this week. And it again, when this series was originally advertised, I was like, I don't know, maybe, and I jumped on it, and originally it was a little bit of a slow burn, but man, this series has really picked up, and it's gotten better and better every issue that comes out, and issue 4 was great. So this is definitely my patois. This is my pick of the week. I was very, I don't know, man. I thought it was great. I loved it. I think the artwork was really fun. I loved the idea behind it. It feels new and fresh, even though there's some concepts in here that are definitely have been used before, but I genuinely enjoyed it. I didn't think I'd like a Red Skull storyline. I'm digging it in here. I like that it doesn't feel like there's really any way back for Tony's son. I feel like his arc is on a downward trend, and I just don't think there's going to be any redemption for him. And I like that. I kind of like the idea of this kind of finite character development rather than kind of these ebbs and flows and all the way in. We've been redeemed. Like, I hope that as for a story arc, I feel like we kind of got it with this Bullseye character that's now the Hawkeye. Like, we kind of got that idea or that story arc. So for Tony's son, I just hope there isn't any redemption. I kind of hope he burns. I just think it would kind of really, I don't want to say ground the series, but I just feel like it would be a shocker, right? Because I think we're all kind of expecting for Tony's son to be redeemed, and I think it would be a way cooler arc if he doesn't. If he ends up burning and drowning with the rest of the, who knows how the story's going to end. Maybe the Avengers don't prevail. And then I think the hook at the end, man, the shocker of what was being dropped on New York City. Not a nuke, but spoilers, a Hulk. Like, that was fucking cool. This was a great book. I thought it was well written. The pacing was fantastic. Yeah, it's my pick of the week. I thought it was great. I'm so glad that I jumped on this. I'm glad I didn't say no to it. I'm glad I stuck with it. Getting to chat. Hey, if this sticks the landing for Avengers Twilight, it might be the best Avengers story I've read in a decade. Nice, Grayson. I agree with you. Avengers Twilight makes me feel how I felt while reading Old Man Logan and Civil War back in the day, John says. Joe, I haven't read it yet, but Avengers Twilight is my second favorite book each month, right behind Ultimate Spider-Man. I hate we are almost done with this series. I agree. Dude, I think everybody's firing on all cylinders here at this moment. Like, Avengers Twilight is badass. It's so good. Holden, howdy. One-man show today. Hey, thanks for having the show despite having to fly solo. No problem, man. I gotta be here. I read the books. I was like, man, we gotta talk about these. I'm glad I was able to show up, and it will be solo next week because Nate will be at a concert. But it's all good. We got it. We got this. All right. Next up, we have Captain Marvel. Again, doesn't have the numbering. I'm gonna pull it up because it bothers me. But for this one, it kind of felt like a repeat issue. Outside of the Negabands now being deactivated. And yes, our big baddie has kind of been revealed again, but in the physical form. But I felt like we kind of already got that. Issue 7. So this issue to me felt kind of, I'm not going to say unnecessary, but it just felt very on repeat, like rinse and repeat kind of. And I think Nate said it on New Comic Book Day that this book may be circling the drain. And maybe getting a reboot with another writer. And I think that's a shame because I think Alyssa Wong, I think she's strong. Like, she's a very strong writer. I mean, her Deadpool was so good, and this just feels very flat. And that sucks because I like the new character design. I like the new costume, but overall, I'm just not incredibly excited about this version of Captain Marvel. And I think that's a shame because, I don't know. I think this book could have been really awesome, but it seems like it's circling the drain. And there's not much to say about it, unfortunately. It didn't move me one way or the other, except for the fact that it felt kind of like almost like we took the previous issue and just kind of like reworded it. That's just kind of how it felt. Outside of the development of the main bad guy, kind of, the Queen of Dark, I don't know what her name is, has physically come to light, and she's here now, and the Negabands are now no longer in play. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. Okay, Dead X-Men issue number 4. I really enjoyed this series. This was the last issue in the series. The team itself in Dead X-Men was really fun. I liked this Moira that was cyberpunk-esque and was jumping lives and trying to be the one that never loses. I thought that was great. Other than that, though, like if you take all these awesome positives, for moving the story forward, it was behind. And I don't know if it was, if this is being nitpicky, I'm sure it is. In the most recent, I don't know if it was Rise. No, Fall. I don't know. Whichever one Karen Gillan's writing. The most recent one, Rachel, spoilers, gets killed, right? And in this one, she's sending her team to Xavier to stop his plan, right? So I would assume in the next Rise, they're going to show up and Rachel's dead. I don't know. I felt like it was a missed opportunity because this thing started off strong. I think it ended mostly strong, but the timing between publications and other issues and trying for this to be kind of like basically a tie-in without saying it, I felt like missed the mark. But if you put that aside, I really enjoyed this little story. I loved the team. Did it feel rushed? No, but it's definitely a sign of what we're trying to do, which essentially this entire, outside of getting the information of where Moira was, that was, the added line of this like cyberpunk rogue Moira was the best thing about the book, and she ended up just getting shot in the head. So, you know, overall, I think I'd give the series itself a B plus. But for execution, in the sense of like trying to be a tie-in, it kind of felt like a waste, unfortunately. But I think Fox did a great job writing these characters. I think the characters are great. The team was great. I think the art was good. You know, overall, it was a good book. I don't think it has nothing to do with Fox. It's all about this execution of the House of the Fall of X. It feels sloppy. And I think the only person now that's really in the driver's seat and doing well, is Karen Gillan, and he's almost done. So that X-Men, B plus overall. Good issue. All right, before we move on to chat, let's get to it. I'm waiting on the trade forum, but I finished Captain Marvel Dark Tempest, and it was a solid 5-issue mini. Do we know what book Gillen is next for Marvel? I don't know. I don't believe he's on Marvel. I think he's done with Marvel. Nate sent me something saying he was either going to DC or just strictly doing independence. I think he's done with Marvel for right now. I don't think he's signed back up for another run. I could be wrong on that, so don't quite quote me, but I think that's the case. Fall of the House of X. A lot of some movement in this from Gary Jerry. Xavier cuts a deal with Orcus. What? You know, and we kind of I feel like we all knew. You know, we knew that the downfall of Xavier is happening, but we didn't know how low he was gonna go. And so he's making a deal with Orcus to save the mutants. And I got the and when I say Orcus, the AI, he's making a deal with the AI side of Orcus. But I really got the sense that he is making a deal to basically incinerate humans and keep mutants alive. That's the feel I got throughout this entire book. I don't want to say this has been the best fall of the House of X, but at least I feel like it's been the most impactful out of everything out of fall from Gary Jerry. So we'll see really like how much movement this book does within the ending of the series. But it felt a little bit more impactful than the other ones. The other ones just felt like a mad dash to the exit, where there was actually some substance in this book, at least for me. I still haven't watched Comic Book Herald's review on it, so you know, maybe I missed something and I'll watch his video and then I'll be like, oh my god, this book was great, or oh my god, this book was ass. But my genuine feeling for it when I read it was like, oh, we actually got some movement into where certain characters are going to be within the end of this era. Now, it is interesting to see Apocalypse essentially resurrecting Krakoa with the blood of mutants by basically having a mini crucible on top of its corpse. So that was pretty intense. So that makes me wonder. There's clearly going to be some fractions, right? There's going to be a fraction within the mutant community, and I feel like, you know, it'll be very interesting to see like who are our villains when the new X books come out. Will there be other mutants? I think there will be some mutant villains. But I think the one to me that will be very interesting to see where they land and what they do is going to be Apocalypse. It'll be very interesting to see what he does in this post-Krakoan era. This book kind of got me wondering that, like, ooh, what does he do? Does he continue the dream of Krakoa in some form of fashion, and does he become an anti-hero? Does he become just kind of off on his own, and he's just like, don't fuck with me and I don't fuck with you? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But the portrayal of Xavier was kind of shocking, I'll have to say. John, I dropped all my X books until the relaunch. I'm counting on you guys to keep me up. Gotcha, John. Joe, did you hear about the Alien versus Avengers by Jonathan Hemingway? That sounds awesome. Predator versus Wolverine was amazing, and the trade just dropped, FYI. Hope we keep getting these crossovers. I did hear about it. I didn't know, or at least I heard about it in passing, like I saw a cover of it. Didn't know Hickman was writing it. So now I'm not a big Alien fan. I know Nate is. But now that I know that Hickman's involved in it, that might be something I might have to read. we'll see. I'll have to do some more digging. But I'm glad you said that, Joe, because I didn't know Hickman was writing it. I thought it was just going to be another silly goose time crossover. So that's interesting. All right, real quick on this Roxanne Presents Thor. This is a massive commentary of parody from Al Ewing. Incredibly over the top and beating your head over with this corporate takeover. Rightfully so. I had nothing wrong with the issue, but it is overdrive, and it's obvious. It's emphasized by Ewing. A commentary on capitalism in comics, I guess. Capitalism in general. Ewing does not hold back in this, and it's interesting. It'll be very interesting to see exactly where this fits in completely. I know we'll go full circle with Ewing, but this was just ridiculous. If there was one word to completely summarize this issue, and not in a bad way, was ridiculous. This was just out of control. The verbiage, not necessarily the artwork, but just the overall idea behind this was just insane. And this is, if you're not reading Immortal Thor, this issue makes no fucking sense to anybody. You definitely need to be invested in his Immortal Thor in order to understand this book. If you just pick this up because you think this is a new version of Thor, which it technically is, you would be incredibly lost. So, not a lot to say, but it's clear Ewing is having a lot of fun with Thor right now, and he doesn't give a shit if he's hurting your feelings or not. It was crazy. John, Thor was fun, but I hope they keep it to one issue. No, I think overall this concept will stick into one issue, but the ramifications of what's going on in this issue, I think, will have long-lasting effects within the Immortal Thor, or at least within this current arc, maybe the next two arcs. I don't know. It's really dependent on what Ewing is going to do for Immortal Thor. There were concepts laid down very early on in Immortal Hulk book that ran through the entire run, and they would poke their head out here and there. They weren't these massive pillars of concept within his book, but they showed themselves. So I would assume that this concept with the Minotaur and this Roxanne Presents Thor comic / character will have some long-lasting effects within the series, but I don't believe it's going to be something that is going to be so overwhelming and so ridiculous like it was in this issue. I just think it's a story mechanic that will push the plot forward, that will rear its head from time to time in a very effective way within Ewing's Immortal Thor run. That's my hypothesis. I think that's my theory on it, is that's what he's going to do. So we'll see. Halftime question from Joe. He says, we are a quarter done with this year. What's your favorite series from each publisher, and what's your excitement grade you have going into Blood Hunt? Blood Hunt, I'll start from the backwards and go back. Blood Hunt for me has gradually, I don't know. I think I'm torn between a B and a B plus on excitement. And really it's because of where Avengers is at right now. It's kind of in this like filler space with Fall of the House of X, and it just feels very underutilized. But it is what it is. So I think it'll be a nice change of pace when we get into Blood Hunt. I think Blood Hunt will have will definitely liven up what we're doing. Not that there's, I don't care. Not that I don't care. Keep the X. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think Blood Hunt will definitely be a breath of fresh air, but I'm obviously hesitant because I'm not a big vampire fan in my comics. But that being said, vampires have been fucking awesome in Moon Knight, so who's to say it's not going to be kick-ass over in Avengers? And there's obviously massive opportunity with crossovers within all of the McKay books. So we'll have to wait and see. But I am excited for it. Favorite series from each publisher? Well, from Image, it's definitely Transformers and Void Rivals. I think that has just been fucking phenomenal. From Marvel, it's the easy answer, but it's going to be Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Black Panther. I think those have been just fantastic. They've been super fun, and I didn't expect them. So I think that's why they get that grade and they get that placement on the pedestal. From DC, that's a hard one for me. I think World's Finest still is doing it for me. I think World's Finest has been enjoyable and hasn't really had many slumps outside of their annual, even though in the annual they set up something that I really actually kind of enjoyed this week. Maybe Green Lantern. Green Lantern for me has been really fun too. So maybe it's a toss up between World's Finest and Green Lantern. So that would be my answer for that. Land was perfect artist for this book. Oh yeah, for sure, John. Mine is Marvel, Ultimate Spider-Man, DC Superman, Image Void Rivals, Dynamite, Thundercats. Nice. I was going to say Ultimate Spider-Man and Superman as well. Beneath the Trees is my pick for my independent. Yeah, you've been talking a lot about that. I know Nate's trying to check it out. Dude, there's like something in my eye and I can't. Okay. All right. Ultimate Black Panther issue number 3. Dude, this was cool. This was just badass. Like, we're just continuing to world build and do something new, even though a lot of people are complaining that we're doing the same thing. This is fucking awesome. Loved the reveal at the end with the moon inside this cave. The writing on the wall with Aurora and Black Panther, I think it's just beautifully done. Like, there's just this tension that is building within this potential or this love triangle / jealousy thing that's going to go on with Okoye and T'Challa and Aurora. Like, it's masterful. Hill is doing a great job. This book is great. I had very low expectations for this book, and it is just blowing it out of the water. It's skyrocketing. It's super fun. And like this, what Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man is doing is getting me super hyped for Ultimate Avengers. Like, and almost to the point where I might go back and read Hickman's Ultimate Invasion again, because I just was not in it, but it was more, I think it was more of, the issue was everything was coming out once a month and I just couldn't feel connected. So maybe the idea of reading it all the way through would just make it have more impact rather than reading an issue month by month and it just feeling very dragged on. So I might need to get back to it instead of reading a summary of it. Joe, Ultimate Black Panther is the most familiar of the bunch, but due to 616 doing a bad job, in my opinion, with Black Panther lately, I'm really loving this run. I would be there with you. I'm enjoying Ultimate Black Panther as well. This Boss Logic cover is sick. Is that the one that I picked up? Is that the one with Killmonger on it? I think it is, right? Because I think I picked that one up. Yeah, dude. This cover is so fucking cool. I'm glad I picked this one up. It's a cool looking cover. There's been some great covers, and then I didn't pick this one up, but this Pichimoko design variant, if it's still at the store, I might end up picking this one up. I love Peach's work. She just does such a great job. But anyway, loved this book. I thought it was great. There's nothing bad to say about it. It was very close to my pick of the week, but Ultimate Avengers Twilight Avengers was great. So, but this was incredibly close. All right, we're getting into the last 2 books of the show. First up, we got World's Finest issue number 26 from Wade and Mora. This was fun. I was not really, the build up to this little event was not my forte. It was not my cup of tea. But dude, this was a great issue, and Mora like flexed the hell out of his. I mean, he does an amazing job all the time, but this was like, he was on another damn level. Like, I'm talking like Jorge Jimenez level. This mystery behind all these 5th dimension versions of our heroes teaming up with their other selves because they're, the villains are getting their versions, and there's this like 5th dimension crafter that's making these souped up versions to power up. It's all over the place. I'm I'm actually I was very entertained with this. My expectations again were very low for this new story arc, but man, this was good. It was balls to the wall, craziness, never letting off the gas, and I apologize. I didn't have big expectations for this book, so when I read it, I was like, dude, this is good. This is really fun. So yeah, I liked it. I like where the story's movement of the story. And we'll have to see where it goes. I'm back in it. I think the annual kind of did a disservice. I feel like annuals do that a lot. So I'm glad that we're kind of going crazy now. Again, I haven't looked, but I pray to God Moira's still on the book for a couple more issues and kind of sees this through, because like if we get an art change, that's going to be devastating. Joe, my shop has been doing great with ordering variant covers, and it's making it hard for me to not grab cover A's. I get that. World's Finest is DC's best kept secret. Their lineup. It's Justice League book we've been waiting for. No shit, Joe. You're right on. I hope where is on. Oh, Wade's on the. Oh, Jesus. We just needed to get announced. God dang it. Jeez. All right, next up we have Nightwing 113. Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with this issue. It tells a story. It puts our heroes, puts Dick and Oracle on a pedestal, and they're great people, and that's fine. We know that we're treading towards the end of the series. Sorry, my eye is losing its mind. Towards the end of the series, and the one complaint that I've had is, and I love Tom Taylor, but I've been like, yo, where is Heartless? Where is Heartless? And finally we get a Where is Heartless. And obviously we're going to get a Where is Heartless because we're literally wrapping up the book. And I feel like we're going to rush through this story of Heartless. I think we're going to I feel like we haven't spent any time on the character because we were over in Pirate Fantasyland, and I'm just incredible. Like Pirate Fantasyland and Beast War Planet, whatever the hell that was. Like incredibly frustrating. This thing, I feel like Nightwing, and don't get me wrong, Nightwing could end on a glorious note, and I hope it does. But this just felt like an afterthought to me, in an obvious direction. Am I glad we're going in this direction? Yes. I just don't like the way it's being executed. And whatever, like that's my opinion. But at the end of the day, Tom Taylor is going to do what he wants, and that's great. I'm not here to. The point of the show is not to sway or bully comic creators. Hold on, I want to fix this camera because it's bothering me that I'm not centered. There we go. And then watch this, guys. Magic. So it was a fine issue. It's just I guess I'm just a little bitter that I wish we were getting more time with Heartless rather than just it's going to be the ending arc. And I pray that it doesn't feel rushed, that we get some really cool epicness. That's all I'm going to say about that. Nightwing has broken my heart as much as Donny Cates leaving Thor. The first dozen issues of Nightwing was charming, exciting, best character development for Dick I've read. Garrison, chill. Beast World was dope. LOL. But in all seriousness, I don't feel like there's enough time to properly flesh out Heartless, which makes me sad. Right there, Grayson. Overall, this week felt underwhelming. 8 books didn't meet expectations for me. I wouldn't say I get that. I wouldn't say it was underwhelming for me, but there wasn't. Nothing blew me out of the water outside of Avengers and World's Finest and Black Panther. And I didn't get to read my Independence, so I don't know if Corporate Commander just popped off or not, or Moon Man. But again, Grayson. I think you said it perfectly, and I also, Joe, I think you said it right as well. It started off really strong, and this ending just feels incredibly flat, just like Donny Cates' Thor. I was putting away comics. Like all my comics were sitting on the floor or on my couch in front of me. And I had them all organized, just hadn't put them away in boxes. And I put away the last 4 issues of X-Force, right up to 50. And I remember when X-Force first started, that book was so good. And then it just fell off a fucking cliff. And I was looking at the covers and I was like, right here is when it happened. And I feel like it's the same thing that's going on here with Nightwing. And it's unfortunate. It'd be very interesting to see where this book lands after Taylor, if it lands at all. I mean, I know DC to me is in a very weird position where we just don't know what the real direction is going to be for DC and who really is going to be in charge. And if it's Williamson, count me out. Anyway, but now it's a parody of itself. Anyone else feel like Nightwing by Tom Taylor is ending abruptly? I feel like he had at least another year with this book title. I agree. Empire, I agree. I totally agree. All right, let's keep moving on. Last book of the night for me, and that is Wonder Woman, issue number 8. This issue was, I kind of liked it. I actually really liked it. I wish Nate was here. I think I'm obviously going to ask him, but I want him to say it on the show, like, how he felt about it. Did he feel like Wonder Woman finally had her voice? And I feel like she actually spoke in this book. And I don't know. I liked it. It was obviously a little tedious, but that's Tom King, right? Like, just what he's gonna do. But overall, I liked the issue. The artwork was great. This black lasso that is of the Amazons being used against her, and her still fighting it off, and still proving that she does not bow to anyone, I thought was really cool. I think what I'm gonna need to do is either obviously reread this when it's all said and done, reread it again, or respect it and buy the hardcover and read it that way. Because I think it might be more effective in that sense, because the way King writes, it just feels very like if you're not in tune and you don't remember exactly what happened, this book feels, the word empty is wrong, in its own space. And if you're not there attuned with it, you're not on the ride for that issue. So I don't know. I thought it was a good issue. I think it feels like that because of the pacing. Tom's run is the longest of any DC ongoing, and for it to feel like it means he wanted it done, everything that was great, to squeeze into another 12 issues. Yeah, it does feel. Yeah, Nightwing just feels like it's abruptly ending. And I'm sure, DC, I know Nate sent me a note saying that they're getting ready to start their own Ultimate Universe. To me, it just feels very evident, and I could be wrong, and I could be talking out of my ass. But it just feels very evident that DC, like in an impending reset, and I know I say it all the time, but it just feels like that one's coming. We don't have a JLS book. Nightwing's ending. Like, I'm not reading Titans. I don't know. I'm sure there are plenty of people that are, but it just feels like we need a reset where everything is just, we've got a JLS, all of our characters are back on their main book, and it's, we don't have instant transmission powers. We don't have a robot hand, unless DC says, you know what, hard left, the new Trinity with the children of our original heroes is taking the lead. I just can't see why we wouldn't do a reset. It just feels like we need it. And I think we also need some new blood, or some shifting in who's writing what. But we'll have to wait and see. DC's in such a sticky situation with ownership that I just don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Patty, I hear DC is doing some sort of Ultimate Universe, so I wonder what that will be like they have sort of done it a couple times, but who knows. Grab giant size Hulk because I'm a giant Hulk mark. What? Oh yeah, I didn't pick that up. Maybe I should have. But yeah, a DC to me is just in a very weird spot. We'll have to wait and see. Usually we've already gotten some kind of announcement of what DC is planning to do. I'm sure we'll get more of that as we go into Free Comic Book Day in May. But we'll have to wait and see. It's just DC for me is in a really weird position. Has Joshua dropped the ball as lead? 100%, Joe. I believe so. I just don't know what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing, and it's not, to me, it's not. I'm not entertained. I mean, there are some people that are, but I'm bored. I for right now, outside of World's Finest and Batman, and I'm sure Nate would say Detective. I'm kind of bored. Well, Green Lantern's good too, but everything else I'm just really bored with. Like I don't care. I really don't care about an Amanda Waller centric summer event. I don't care about Amanda Waller. I need some epicness. I need some big epicness. And when Death Metal finished, and it was like, we've reestablished everything, and then within a month they reestablished the reestablished. I think that's where they lost me. So, and I don't want to be negative, so let's end on a positive. Let me know in the chat. So John, I think you let me know what your pick of the week's. Let everybody else let me know in the chat what is your pick of the week while I wrap up the show really quick. John says, no, Jim, don't pick up Giant Size Hulk. It's not good or worth the price. Got it. Empire, feels like most people love Joshua stuff. He seems to be the DC darling writer. Why is right now? I don't get it. When he doesn't hyper focuses on one singular character, I think he does it really good and he's really strong. When he does this all-encompassing DC wipe of writing, in my opinion, it's not good. I think his Dark Crisis of Infinite Earth was a total drop. I did not enjoy it. I gotta stop being negative. Let's end on a high note. Joe, I dropped 90% of my DC books and just reading them in the DC app. I probably might do that. Great show as always. This week, I don't know yet, but I gotta run and get my books. Right on, Patty. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for tonight's show. I know it's obviously shorter, but Nate's not here, and I don't want to just rant all night, but I am so glad that every single one of y'all was here to hang out with me and to chat. We will be here Tuesday for another new comic book day. It'll either be me flying solo or Nate will be here, but either way, you are getting a new comic book day video that will drop this Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll talk about some really good books. Just kind of looking at it. I think there's a few books that I'm 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are at least 4 books that I'm super stoked about next week, so should be good. I only have 2 independents though. That's crazy. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this week's show. One more clean sweep into chat. We need to finish the show with something other than DC. It's always ends on a sour note. LOL. Maybe we put independence back at the end of the show. I'll have to think about it. Thanks for the show, Jim. Appreciate it. No problem, John. Huge week next week. Yeah, it's gonna be a good week. I'm super stoked for it. But anyway, guys, we will catch you guys live. All I got is Green Arrow for next week, but that's all I need. Green Arrow's good. That is a. I'm trying to end. That is a example of Joshua doing a really good job when he's just focusing in on one character, because Green Arrow has been fantastic. So just keep doing that. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday, and then we'll come back here live, flying solo with your guy, Jim, and we'll hang out again. And hopefully I'll have watched X-Men 97. I haven't even watched this past week's episode. So I'll have 2 episodes to talk about next week. So be ready. All right? Be ready. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Bye. Nope, that's not it. Where's the outro? It's right here. Bye. Hope next week I'll have some books read. Right on, Joe. Dude, take your time. We love you, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Beefy. Later. Later, John. Later, Joe.